Tahiti is a paradise for its inhabitants, we might suppose. But Paul Gauguin lived there long enough to look deeper. The title is Paruapi, which means "what news?" It's the "what's up" of Tahiti, a kind of greeting that allows someone with news to take the opportunity to say the news, and if there isn't any, it serves just as the greeting. The title of an artwork is the opportunity for the artist to point us in the direction of his or her thoughts. Some artists give their paintings obscure names, like Jackson Pollock's Number 32, deliberately avoiding guiding the viewer in any direction. But in this example of primitivist art, Gauguin decides to give us that clue. Two Tahitian women are portrayed simply, actually more than that, simplistically. It would be trite to say that one of them has received bad news and this is why they both look downcast. But I think it's a more everyday emotion. They are bored. We'll come back to that. Paul Gauguin's distinctive post-impressionist style influenced later post-impressionist artists. You can certainly see echoes of Gauguin's work in the Cubism of Picasso and Braque, and in the Fauvism of Henri Matisse. Gauguin left Impressionism behind because he went on a quest to find the soul of nature. Writing to a friend, "Don't copy nature too literally. Art is an abstraction." For Gauguin, getting the emotion, the essence, the soul, was more important than representing his subject either realistically or even impressionistically. The idea of art as an abstraction was easier to understand before abstract art became a thing. The idea of abstraction is not to place every detail, but to abstract away into the overall effect. Artists have been doing that for centuries now. Certainly Impressionism is a form of abstraction. But Gauguin had left Impressionism behind, seeking the abstraction of the soul of nature. Primitivism is wanting to represent less advanced cultures in art, in some way hankering after a lost and almost certainly mythic golden age that those of us in modern times have now lost. Gauguin decided that to represent this culture in the sophisticated artistic styles of his predecessors would seem out of place with the subject material. Gauguin was born in Paris in 1848. His father had to flee France, and at the age of 18 months, Gauguin arrived in Peru with his mother and sister, his father having died en route. A few years of privileged upbringing were cut short when he was sent back to France, where he eventually became a stockbroker, painting in his spare time and collecting works by the Impressionists. He spent the last 8 years of his life in Tahiti, at times in despair, even attempting suicide after he had completed his epic work, Where Do We Come From? Where Are We Going? In the year of his death he wrote, "No one is good, no one is evil. Everyone is both, in the same way and in different ways. It is so small a thing, the life of a man. Yet there is time to do great things, fragments of the common task." This fragment of the common task is called Paruapi, what news? We might dream of idyllic Tahitian days, the easy sun, plentiful food, and relaxed lifestyle. But maybe that's all there is. The idea of island life is that the defined boundary of the sea is at once a clear delineation from the rest of the world and also a barrier to its troubles. But could it be that, like many of our idle dreams, we overlook the reality? Could island life instead be a prison of routine, one day blending into the next? Could the overly familiar relationships with others tire? Gauguin's bright and flat planes of colour cannot distract us from their faces. They are not happy. They've got problems too. Some cultures inflict drudgery on women who end up with a lot of the work and responsibilities, particularly the mundane ones. And if that is still true today, it was no doubt even more so a century or more ago. A rigidly defined narrow purpose in life and a routine and ultimately stifling culture can't be compensated for with just beautiful surroundings. Two women sit together. They have exchanged the greeting, "What news?" And the answer is no news. It's just the same as always. It's boredom. What's up? Nothing. Anything with you? Nope, nothing. Just the same old, same old. Will it change? Doesn't seem likely. Gauguin had left his native France to find his island paradise, only to discover that wherever we are, we take our basic humanity with us. There is no golden culture, not now nor in the past. The glories of the past, if they were able to be visited, would turn out to hold their own problems. And the myth of paradise, in that time 130 years ago on Tahiti, is found to be as Gauguin has described it in this painting, full of routine, of sometimes stifling restrictions and the mundane everyday exigencies of living. As Gauguin found out, the old adage holds true: wherever you go, there you are. What news? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press like. If you want to be notified when I put out more reactions to great art, please subscribe. See you next time.